and I did start to observe a few people around the countryside, and I noticed Australia First Party, and I started to observe them, and after about a week or two, I noticed that they were saying the exact same things as what I was saying, the exact same thing, you know what I mean? And they seem to be the only real political organisation or entity in Australia that's willing to criticise, you know, the right wingers in the fashion that, you know, that I expect, where you criticise their, for instance, you know, any proper you know what I mean, hardliner, you know what I mean, is not really into banking the monetary system. You know, with the monetary system, basically, the government borrows money from the reserve banks at an interest rate.
Right.
And so from square one, the public are behind. You know what I mean? And this is why the public has to pay taxes to pay the interest rates to the bank. You know what I mean? So it's a situation of perpetual debt.
Yeah.
Perpetual slavery.
Yeah.
If you would say that, you know what I mean? Like, say the people, you know what I mean? So any reasonable hardliner, you know what I mean, would you know, not be interested in, you know, in capitalist, you know, in modern day capitalism.
Right.
I say I believe in the certain particular virtues of capitalism, but actual mainstream capitalism, it's a disgusting thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a slave orientated system. You know what I mean? It's, you know, you got people running around in circles chasing their tail all their lives, paying houses off, you know, interest rates and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Where people could be a lot more freer. You know what I mean? If money was based on something that actually exists, like gold, for example, something that actually give money value, real value. You know, something that won't allow money to inflate or deflate its value, and that's how the government really screws the people, is inflating, you know, the economy, you know, and they're making money worth less over time, and that's the saying, worthless. Money's becoming worthless. You know, back in the day, Lionel could go down to get a pack of smokes, you know, for 50 cents. You know what I mean, and go get drunk and get on the charge for less than $5.
Yeah.
But no, in these days you can't do that for less than 200. You know what I mean, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So if you were, say a potential pathway for you, what if you got into politics yourself? Would this is just what I'm thinking. Do you think power would get to your head, or do you think you will be calm and balanced and stick to your beliefs?
No, well, a nationalist, you know, must stick to his beliefs. You know what I mean? That's, you know, what makes us what we are. Like, that's what I am. I'm a nationalist. Like, and that's sort of what Australia First Party does. It takes these, you know, individuals that are conspiracy theorists or whack jobs and idiots, and it, you know, helps them pick up the pieces. You know what I mean? And it gives them something real. You know what I mean? Instead of, you know, fantasizing about Adolf Hitler or some other fucking right-wing cretin that, you know what I mean, that's not associated with Australia.
Of course.
You know what I mean, sort of thing. And that's what I said it before, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, the ideas, my ideas are, you know, are rooted in this soil. You know what I mean? And you get neo-Nazis, you know, and people in the Aryan Brotherhood, you know, that go into, you know, in and out of prison, for example. You know what I mean? That's what they are. They're followers of Hitler. Even though they like the white race, they don't necessarily like Australia, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a whole ideology, you know what I mean? And it takes, you know, it takes these disenfranchised people that are screwed up in the head, maybe have been screwed up in the head for years, and actually gives them something real.
Right.
You know, gives them a reason to work, and a reason to be good to your missus. You know, proper morals and you know what I mean, virtues.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, selflessness.
Yeah.
And all these things that are, you know, all these wonderful Australian things. You know what I mean? Sacrifice.
But what I'm
You
saying
know?
is, because the whole political thing is a bit unbalanced in both parties, or a lot of parties, really.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, do you think you will be straight and narrow once you enter, because parties have their own agenda as well? That isn't just for the Australian people. You know what I'm getting at?
Well, yeah, like I can only be a nationalist, so yeah, you can so you can only do what a nationalist would do, really, and that's at the end of the day. So yeah, like that's it's it's a whole ideology, and I can only really do what I'm duty bound to do. You know what I mean? And I'm not really beholden to corporations. You can't buy me. You know what I mean? So where you can buy a political party, all you got to do is just go and donate to them, and you'll get whatever policy you want. You can't buy me. I'm not for sale.
Right.
So these are the virtues that you get when you vote for Australia First Party. We're incorruptible as far as the system is concerned.
Right.
We're not going to screw the people. You won't find it's like we're to us, Australia is number one, and it starts. Whether you're in politics or whether you're a millionaire or whether you're a worker, every single ounce of your strength and energy is dedicated to your people.
Yeah.
The nation isn't a slab of land or a piece of dirt or a heap of bricks and mortar. It's what I mean. It's the people. So you're duty bound to them. You're not, where with Aboriginal, it's all about land bar, and all this, that's, they don't love each other. They beat each other up. You know what I mean? Sort of thing. They get drunk. They don't respect themselves. They live out of the lower half of themselves.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's not good for the nation. You know what I mean? Going into hospital and getting sick and dying early. You know what I mean? Like, that's not building the nation up. You know what I mean? So it starts with, good health, eating well, you know what I mean? Having good health, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Being fighting fit if needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ready to work at any point in time and do the best job that you can to start with. You know what I mean? And so whether you're a labourer, like I was 2 days ago, mate, getting out there as a painter, sanding walls all day in 40-degree heat. You know what I mean? You do it to the best of your ability. You bust your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sort of thing. And that's what you get with whether it's a millionaire nationalist or a politician. That's you get these morals.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. Sort of thing. And that's what they hate. They know what's coming. You know what I mean? They know exactly what's coming. You know what I mean? Sort of thing. So that's where we're with them. They're corrupted. You can buy them. Their opinions change over time. You know what I mean? Due to certain circumstances. Like you don't get that with us.
Yeah.
You're getting straight down the middle. What you vote for is what you're going to get.
Okay. Cool. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And speaking of corporations, well, not really a corporation. This is just more of a segue into your sponsor, Dubby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get into contact with them, and did they come to you, or did you come to them, or? No,
just over Facebook, and they just put an ad out there. No, I just had a look at the website, and just said to them, you want it? No, if you want to sponsor me, go for your life. And they're like, drop us a look at all your all your handles, sort of thing. So I give them a look at everything, and they within 5 minutes they were in, sort of thing. So
right.
So we both within half an hour sort of partnered up. After I seen them on Facebook, pretty much. So it all happened pretty quickly.
Yep.
But there's no official paperwork or there's nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit of a hair on my tongue there, bit of fluff. No, it's just a partnership. You know what I mean? By Facebook Messenger, and I'll get paid by if somebody uses my code or goes to the website. Using my link, I'll get paid. Yeah. I haven't even given me PayPal details yet, so it's not getting paid's not the point, mate.
Yeah.
The point is about building, good relationships. You know what I mean, and teaming up with people that companies with similar goals, sort of thing. And they're only a couple of years old. They're only 2 years old themselves. So.
Right.
So and they fit the brand too. They do fit the brand, you know what I mean. Their brand fits the Aussie Rebel Media brand. So it does go hand in hand. The gaming aspect, because they sponsor gamers. So it all married up for me. Yeah, straight up.
And just one final question before we finish up today: the Aussie Rebel TV logo. Because last time I saw it was a skull with a bucket hat, correct?
Yep.
And
Yep.
it had gambling cards.
Yep. Yep.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that skull representative of you or representative of the Aussie rebel ideology?
Yeah, pretty much representative of. Oh, it's me. Yeah,
you.
it's definitely. Oh, it's me.
Okay.
Yeah, look, the skull's been there for years. I adopted the skull. I seen it as a sticker at Super Cheap Auto one day, and back when I become the Aussie rebel, and I'm just like, that's me,
Right.
straight up. So I took her and chucked her on the back of my ute, and I used it for years. But then after sort of realizing, you know what I mean, the corporate independence and adopting capitalist virtues, I had to come to realizations again that skull just wasn't mine.
Yeah.
You know, he belongs to someone else, and I've used him for years. He's been faithful, but at the end of the day, I just can't sell him.
No.
He just doesn't belong to me. So I had to go and purchase my own, pretty much. So now I've got something that I actually own.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the story of the logo in a nutshell.
So it's ultimately you at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's just the skull with the bucket. I didn't want to let the skull go, so I give him a look at the skull. I said, look, I want that skull somehow. If you can find something similar, maybe front on if you can, chuck a bucket hat on there, bloody beautiful. So after 2 or 3 days, $150, but they sorted it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Cost me $70, $80. You know what I mean, just for the logo, and $70, $80 just for the rights to it. So yeah, but I own it now. That's the main thing, isn't it? You know
That's
what I
all that
mean?
matters.
I can sell it and market it and
Yeah.
Photoshop it everywhere.
Look at you go. Anyway, thank you so much, Ben.
Too easy, mate. Too easy.
Make sure to subscribe to Aussie Rebel Media. Oh, TV, sorry. My
Hey,
bad.
what's your YouTube channel
What's my
too?
YouTube channel? I don't have a YouTube channel.
You don't have one?
I'm just
Too easy.
existent.
Too easy, mate. We'll go with that, mate.
And make sure to buy W, correct?
Yeah, hit us up, mate. Buy some Dubby. Use code word Aussie Rebel at Dubby's checkout. Get yourself 10% off. Bloody beautiful, mate.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Rock and roll, peoples.